Hi there, I'm Nick Cutsup. I am a graduate student in planetary science at Cornell University. Thanks for tuning into my talk. I'm going to be talking today about the graduate students' efforts to improve diversity, equity, and inclusion in the astronomy department. So right now, the Astronomy and Space Sciences graduate program has about 34 students, and we run the whole gambit of astronomical topics, everything from Mars rovers to merging black holes. So, among the graduate students, there was a culture of silence. And this is probably very familiar to a lot of graduate students across the country. For many people, there was a fear that our worries would be dismissed or trivialized, or in the worst case, it would affect our career aspirations. But finally, in fall of 2018, buoyed by the courage displayed at other science departments across the country, we decided to share our feelings of neglect and issues with power dynamics with the faculty and the administration. Overwhelmingly, our stories were met with an abundance of sympathy and support, and a desire to learn and understand. Most of the faculty and staff had no idea what was going on, or didn't realize it was that bad, or didn't realize that some of these things were really bothering us. As one conversation led to the next, we realized that most people in our department shared our desire for a healthy and respectful community. So, the graduate students penned a letter of intent to the chair and the director of graduate studies and advocated for the creation of a climate and diversity committee to address issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion within the department. Over the next couple slides, I'm going to talk about some of the efforts that the graduate students have spearheaded to achieve these goals. And I hope to encourage other graduate students across the country who may be similarly afraid of speaking up to start having conversations with the folks in their department. Our first step in this journey was to establish the Climate and Diversity Committee, which has representation from all of the stakeholders in the department, including faculty, research staff, administrative staff, undergraduates, and of course, graduate students. This communal effort has been paramount in the success that we have had so far. And to hear more about the efforts that have been spearheaded by the faculty and staff, I invite you to tune into Professor Jonathan Lunein's talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion within the astronomy department. One of our first and most successful efforts so far is the value statement, which you can see on the left side of the screen. This statement includes input from all the stakeholders in the department and declares the values that we hold dear and the things we think are important for a healthy community and scientific excellence. We think a value statement is an important first step in this process as it sets the groundwork for future efforts and only requires talking and listening and making sure everybody is represented. Unfortunately, our graduate program is not terribly diverse. We currently have no underrepresented minorities, and over the past couple of years, we have had issues with matriculating students who identify as female. In order to increase diversity, we are seeking to accomplish two things. The first is increasing the number of applicants from diverse populations, and we'll do this by training in the Graduate Student Ambassador Program, and increasing retention by making a more welcoming environment by taking bias intervention training, by forming race and diversity book clubs, and by leading a DEI journal club which looks into the science of diversity, equity, and inclusion. To me, equity means that everybody gets the support that they need. For the graduate students, this means that no matter who a student's advisor is or what their specific focus is, that they have a successful graduate career. To accomplish this, we are formalizing the tradition of a senior graduate student mentoring a junior graduate student by explicitly assigning third year or more senior graduate students to incoming graduate students. We are also working with the Director of Graduate Studies in the department to create a handbook for graduate students so that they know what is expected of them and what they can expect from their advisors, what they can expect from doing a teaching assistantship, and we also recommend courses for them depending on what their focus is, be it planetary science or cosmology or etc. Finally, inclusion means that everybody's voice in the department is heard. As I said before, our first major effort in this was the value statement, shown on my third slide. As you can see on the left, we made sure that we surveyed everybody on a variety of topics. And then we broke it down by the different demographics. In this case, position, and we also looked at self-reported gender and minority status. We have also been advocating for stakeholder representation on committees within the department. And we're very grateful to our collaborators in the faculty and the administration for offering us a seat on the graduate students admission committee as well as the colloquium committee, not to mention our designated chair on the climate and diversity committee. To sign off, I want to once again encourage other graduate students to start having these conversations with folks in their departments. It is going to take a lot of hard work, and we are certainly still far from declaring victory in our department. But things are getting better for us, and they can get better for you as well. Thank you. Hi there. I'm Nick.